Speaking of highlights, nobody does a better job trolling Diddy than 50 Cent. Nobody does a better job trolling than 50. We all know 50 Cent. 50 is actually a good dude. I actually had the pleasure of meeting 50 Cent one time. It was in 2009, New York City at Macy's. Good dude. That was at the time when they had the ESPN zone. And my stepfather, shout out to Joe, great man. He used to take us there. He used to have a lot of good food. He had some good burgers and wings and fries over there on that ESPN zone in New York, man. But yeah, I actually saw 50 Cent that one time in Macy's in New York. My favorite 50 Cent track. I mean, there are a lot of good ones. You could say In the Club. You can say 21 Questions featuring the late great Nate Dogg. I'm gonna go with Window Shopper and Out of Control. Those are like one of my favorite 50
Lord.
Cent tracks. Yeah. Yeah.
Not out of God, for obvious reasons. That's a good song.
BR.
That's a good song.
That was all I got to say. BRF, you want to go?
That's a good song. Out of Control is a good song. Yes, I do. Okay. My favorite 50 album is obviously Get Rich or Die Trying. I think that's one of the greatest hip hop albums of all time. But my favorite song is not on that album. My favorite song for 50 is Hustler's Ambition. I mean that was just, I mean, good, like rugged, grimy, just because 50 rapped about being the underdog a lot in his records, about starting from the bottom and to get where he's at. And Hustle's Ambition for me is just the perfect personification in a song of who 50 Cent was, as far as like what he did in his raps. And that was off the Get Rich or Die Trying movie soundtrack, which is also one of the greatest soundtracks in the history of hip hop. So yeah, for me, my favorite 50 track is Hustler's Ambition. But I will say this though, for those for obvious reasons, I'm not gonna talk about it too much, but I'm just gonna say, if y'all get a chance, go on to YouTube, search Disco Inferno, and I digress. Moving on.
Champ.
There's so many, man. First and foremost, man, look, 2002, that year belonged to 50. That was
2003.
Was it 2002 or 2003?
Get Rich or Die Trying, I think, was 03, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
And that year belonged to 50 because the thing was, man, people don't remember. Look, before the mixtape game kicked into play with our favorite artists and Gangsta Grills and doing all that, 50 was doing that back in 2001, 2002. I mean, 50 Cent It's the Future is one of the best mixtapes you ever want to see, man. I mean, it was epic, man. And if you don't remember that mixtape, you need to go and look at it because him and G Unit back when they was doing the mixtape, especially the one they did with Stretch Armstrong, that was great. Favorite track. What Up Gangsta.
That's a good one.
That was a good one. What Up Gangsta was a good one. That was great. I Gotta Give Love to Life's on the Line. Life's on the Line was a good one. And man, it's so many, man. Like I said, that's my childhood. Many Man.
Death Upon Me.
Blood, yeah. And Heat.
Ooh.
Heat.
Ooh.
And there's another song on there, man. If you could just, I think it's number 6 on Get Rich or Die Trying because, you know, we got the kids watching. Number 6 on Get Rich or Die Trying, and we'll keep it clean. So if you know, you know, because that beat was the hardest beat that was on that album. You know, we know I'll replace the word fly all the time. That was
yeah.
fly all the time. You know the words, but you know, for
Yes.
the sake of for the sake of the show, fly all the time was one of those, and that was the hardest beat on that album because it sounded like a down south beat. I'm like 50 rapping the bounce until I found out who mixed it. You know, the Rockwilder, he mixed that beat. But that was that album, man, top 10 in hip hop history. Get Rich or Die Trying. Like I said, I was in high school when that album came out. And
Massacre, don't forget, let's not ignore the Massacre. Even though
the Massacre was a fire album too.
Yeah, the Massacre was a fire album, but you know, Get Rich or Die Trying, that first one.
Oh yeah, the first one.
Great. I mean, that one was, you talking about the launching of a career. I mean, Get Rich or Die Trying was one of those albums that is just once in a lifetime. Because those are one of those albums that you put the CD in, you don't change damn song, and just ride off into the sunset no matter what you're doing. And you don't skip not one song. Another song, man, that I have to pay homage to, man. I got to give his flowers too, because back in the amateur days and back when I was in the gym strong, I used to listen to this song all the time. Don't push me. Right now I'm on the edge, so don't push me. So that was and the way he brought it in, I need you to want me to win. I need to know where I'm headed because I know where I've been, and that's a powerful statement. I need to know where I'm headed because I know where I've been. I ain't trying to go back. So, ironically, that song was produced by Eminem, man. Hey, shout out to Dr. Dre, man. Some of the best proteges you ever want to have. From NWA to Kendrick Lamar to DOC. Don't forget about the great DOC. To Snoop, you know, to John, you know, and everybody don't mention him because, you know, he hasn't gotten an album out yet. John Connor, you know, hey, the hits that you love, man. All hip, but you can, Dr. Dre, hey, man, we salute you, man.
Absolutely.